Hey guys, welcome back to another Mini-Sode where today we'll be talking about Kingdom Under Fire: The Crusaders, a sequel to the 2001 PC title, A War of Heroes. The story takes place 50 years after the Second Great War of Heroes. The Ancient Heart, an evil artifact that gave a dark influence over any who came near it and was the cause of the war, has faded into memories past and life had resumed. However, orcs invade a village where the Heart's resting place was, and in response the kingdoms of Hero Niden and Ecclesia declare war against the evil kingdom of Valand, where the orcs hailed from, and its ruler Valdemar. I will say that the lore of Kingdom Under Fire is a lot to take in, especially for someone who's only played one of the games briefly, and it was Circle of Doom on 360. But thankfully, with the game providing all the lore you need to get up to speed, it's not that bad. What I can tell you though is the story for the Crusaders is pretty good, mostly due to the interactions with your chosen character and their companions. Speaking of characters, the Crusader gives you 6 to play as, each portraying the game's difficulty with the harder campaigns being unlocked when you beat the first 2. It may be seen as a cheap way to lengthen the game, but I always find it refreshing to see a story from a different point of view. The gameplay though is an interesting concoction of genres. The Crusaders is a real-time strategy game where you command your troops and lead them into battle across large maps. You move your cursor where you want to go and issue orders for either one or all units, with the ability to switch between them on the fly. You can also use special magical abilities here like healing, elemental boosts, cast magic attacks, or send out scouts. This method of playing an RTS on a console is pretty cool, and it shows that it can be done if handled the right way. However, when you highlight an enemy and rush to attack with your leader character, the game then switches to a third-person hack and slash, very similar to the Dynasty Warriors series, where you have a light, heavy, and a special attack as well as a block/parry move. You can even summon your companions to unleash a special move to help clear the tons of enemies on screen at the cost of skill points that are earned by landing successful attacks. Now, to win skirmishes, you simply just have to kill all enemy soldiers. But if you manage to take out their leader, then all enemies fall and you achieve an instant victory. Now, this is easier said than done, as the only way to see who the leader of the group is would be a red bar underneath them. However, with all the craziness of battle going on, this can be really hard to spot, especially with no other indicators. On top of that, you don't have any form of lock-on, so prepare yourself to not get frustrated when you're trying to hit a soldier and instead you're just wailing your sword all over the place. Still, the blending of 2 genres you'd think would never go together do pretty well here. Lastly, there's the world map. Besides going from one mission to the next, this is where you'll get the meat of the story, apart from in-mission cutscenes. While in a rest stop like a castle or a camp, you learn info about the next mission, upgrade your leader and troop skills, plus equipment and the ability to change jobs at the barracks, hire mercenaries at the pub, and get a little training in. There was a multiplayer mode as well that allowed you to battle head-to-head against another opponent through Xbox Live, but with no way to try it out, I just assume it's like the single-player battles. Visually, the Crusaders isn't bad for its time, just kind of basic. The stages are mostly just blank environments like forests, fields, and deserts with trees, buildings, and whatever else is needed to fill the map out. But you can tell that the attention was spent more on the characters since that's what you'll really be focused on, and they're pretty good. Well, the main characters are. All the other troops are pretty much just copy and paste, but they're still nicely designed. It's pretty funny though how the characters' mouths don't move when they talk. Well, Gerald's does, but he kind of looks like a cow chewing cud.
I can't let General Hugh and his men be slaughtered. I assume full responsibility.
Speaking of audio, the voice acting's a bit all over the place. Some actors do a pretty good job, while others sound like they're reading cue cards while on the finest of tranquilizers.
Gerald, your wise decisions were key for this victory. Had the front line been eliminated, we would have been forced into retreat.
Thank you, sir.
Another thing, Gerald, we interrogated a dark and we've got something.
Tell me.
Renier's troops are headed this way.
And?
The leader who escaped us at Raven Meadow. He alone holds the plans for this attack. We're told this leader is in Greywood Forest.
The one thing that, to me anyway, just doesn't fit in this game is the music. With a game like the Crusaders, you would expect the soundtrack to be an epic, sweeping orchestra to match the swordplay going on. Instead, what we get is hard rock tunes that sound like it came from the C-list of a Warped Tour. It's really off-putting. Kingdom Under Fire: The Crusaders is a game that has a few problems, mostly due to blending two different genres into something new. But if you can put them aside, you'll find a cool and interesting way to play an RTS on a console. And again, this is coming from someone who sucks at that type of game. Now, this isn't the last that the Big Green would see from this series, as the next game, the prequel Heroes, would come out a year later, so at least I have something else to look forward to. But for now, this is the Dolly Popka. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.